Dear Diary, today, nothing happened. That's not an overstatement nor an understatement. Just nothing. No distress calls, no danger, no life or death situations, no adventure, no monsters or megalomaniac billionaire capitalists intent on destroying planets for profit. Nothing. Literally nothing. I spent most of the day standing in my console room, contemplating what to do with my day, planning out what I could do, and not actually going ahead with these plans, and then beating myself up about it. It has been such a long time since nothing has happened. Since I've had a day in which there hasn't even been the slightest bit of an adventure, or chaos for that fact. It's refreshing. It's almost what I've been looking for, to be different, to live life in different ways to my other selves. For a while, today, I thought, what if this is the answer? What if nothing is the answer to all of my problems? But after spending 20 minutes in my console room, completely zoned out, I realised that this isn't the answer. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but it isn't the answer to all my problems. It's different, but I wouldn't want every day to be like this. Maybe some days. I'd like more days like this, but not every day. This isn't who I am. This isn't what I want my life to be like. For once in my life, time felt linear. Feeling every second, feeling every hour. One after the other, after the other. I could feel it all. Every second of every minute of every hour. All passing me by. In the right order. It was a strange feeling at first. Not one I experience often. I mean, sometimes, yeah. But not all the time. I quite like experiencing it in the wrong order, you know? As a time traveller, especially one with as convoluted as a timeline as mine, this was refreshing. This was new. It was nice for a while. But then I decided to overthink it, as I overthink everything. It wasn't long before my mind twisted it into a punishment, rather than a nice thing for me to enjoy. I'd think about, for a brief moment, family and friends from long ago. Like Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Or Donna. Or Ace. Or Mel. Or Martha. Or Susan. Or the ones I've forgotten. And I've forgotten so many. I've lost count over a while, being honest with you. Seeing as this is my diary, no one else will read it. Perhaps it will end up in a museum one day, long after I've gone. I wonder when that will be. I wonder when my diary ends, when my story ends. I wonder how many chapters there'll be. How many stories missing and untold? I wonder. But nobody would want to read about this, or listen to it, or watch it, or however people consume media by the time this becomes public, I guess. Because this is the day in which nothing happens. Nothing happened. And there's not enough time for something to happen. This won't be important to anyone else but me. The day of no adventure, no conflict, no plot, no formula, no narrative, no nothing. This day is for me and nobody else. A day in which I stood in the console room, read books on the Roman Empire. I showered, brushed my teeth, put on some nice aftershave, just for the hell of it, you know? Just because I felt like it. Completed a few crosswords, played a game of chess, booked in my next appointment at with Mrs. Tinkle, booked my next therapy appointment, ordered a pizza in, looked at an old photo book, played a few games on my DS and Game Boy, before swiftly playing my favourite console of all time, the Dreamcast. The Sonic Adventure games are some of my favourites of all time. I mean, the first two are classics, don't get me wrong, but the third one, whew, I mean, it's just timeless, really. No wonder it took them so long to make it, but I'm so glad they did. The fourth one's hit or miss. Played a board game called Battle for the Universe. Got really into knitting and knitted myself another scarf. Wrote a poem about elephants and then proceeded to speak about elephants for half an hour, hyperfixating on them as it were. I love elephants, but don't get me started. I'll be writing about it in this diary for ages. I mean, I could. Should I? No, never mind. Moving on. I also organised my collection. I love DVDs and any sort of physical media, really. Walked around for a bit, breathed, which for me is quite the achievement. Walked around some more. Looked outside for a bit, took in the sights, had a nice well-prepared meal. And I did things that I just wanted to do. Maybe not planned. Maybe I beat myself up for plans I wanted to do but didn't go ahead with. But I just did nothing. And I found so much joy in that. Despite wanting to punish myself. I found joy in nothing. So that was my day. Perhaps not an interesting one. Perhaps not one that anyone in the future that gets their hands on this book wants to hear about. Perhaps it will become missing. Perhaps nobody will care enough to preserve this day in history. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with this being forgotten. Because this day was mine. And mine alone. And that's what matters. I want more days like this. I will fight for more days like this. But that's it. This is it. This is all. I have nothing else to say. And nothing else to do. I know I'll go back to my normal formula tomorrow. Perhaps I might get a good night's sleep tonight. But tomorrow I'll go back to fighting monsters. Or capitalists intent on destroying planets for profit. There'll be adventure. And I'm sure for some it'd be the trip of a lifetime. But for me, that's just my everyday life. It's nice to have a day once in a while where nothing happens. And that just happens to be today.